Christmas, everybody, and the happiest new year. I know you're going to be celebrating the holidays with your family and your friends, and I wanted to share a little bit about my my heritage and on my mother's side. And as you know, I'm multi-ethnic, so I'm going to be sharing a sweet tamale recipe with you that maybe you can have it for Christmas. I may not be able to ship them to you, but at least you'll have the recipe, right? So, and also I wanted to share something that I used to have when I was a kid, and I loved it. Oh, you can have it as a ground up as well. I don't know why, but a lot of times people they make it by scratch, but I buy it. So it's Mexican chocolate and Mexican pastries, and pan dulce is what we called it. And what I do is basically just add about a couple of cups of milk, as you see there. And then I have this empada that I use, and you can use any kind. They have some great ones at an organic store where they're different flavors. It's a Mexican chocolate, round chocolate, and you can get them actually with spices in them, and you can get them with all these wonderful flavors, or you can just get the plain kind. And my favorite is the dark chocolate, of course, that I found at one time. But these are really, really inexpensive, and they have pretty much there's no fillers in them, and they're made out of chocolate, cinnamon, cloves, all these nice little ingredients. Oh, and what you do is, before you open it up, you just kind of give it a slam up against the counter, and then you can break it because it is very hard. And I'll probably use half of that. And as you saw me pour in about good 4 cups of milk in there. And then this is what we use in Mexico to stir it up. And of course it goes all the way up here. You can use it for champurrada, which is a cornmeal and chocolate drink, hot drink, and it's like an atole that we called a little bit like a atole. So, but today I'm not gonna make the champurrada, but I will make the Mexican chocolate. And then as that's heating up, I wanted to share with you. Let that sit in there, because once it gets hot, it'll just dissolve. This hard candy like empada will just dissolve. And you gotta be careful which ones you select, because a lot of them do have fillers in them, and I try to stay away from the fillers. So, and I want to get it as natural as possible. And again, you can make your own, but why when you can just go to the store and just get one? But here are some Mexican pastries that I used to have when I was a kid. This was my favorite. This is called the puerco, and it's kind of has like a little cinnamon. I'm going to take a little bite. It has a little cinnamon, and it was like my favorite. And like a cake, like a, no, I would say it's got like a molasses, not a cinnamon, a molasses cake type of flavor. And I love them. These are my favorite, and then I got my favorite so I can show you. And this is a elote, and I love this one, especially if they're made fresh. If you are somewhere where you can actually make them yourself, or if you're somewhere in near a Mexican area, and you go to a store, sometimes the stores make them inside. The bakery, they have a little bakery inside. Don't be afraid to venture. I mean, you'll be surprised, you'll probably fall in love. And this is like a nice little cake, and this one has the cinnamon, and it's got like this little icing that they cook on top. And it's the icing that's cooked on top. I love that too. I used to dip it inside my cocoa. I'm taking bites of it so I can show you. And I think this has to be my favorite now. This was my favorite when I was a kid, and my grandpa's favorite. But this is my favorite now. I just love it. I'm sorry, talking with my mouth full. And this is like a cuerno, which is a horn. And the same thing, it has like the baked on icing. It's really delicious. And then the coconut cookies, and their cookies, I love the way they make their cookies. It's almost like a shortbread cookie. I'll take a little bite here. I know. And they're not expensive at all. They're very reasonable. Like, I paid only 65 cents a piece. I mean, my goodness. And it all depends on where you go, too. Oh, that's good. That's like a really nice shortbread cookie. I love. So, I got my hot chocolate kind of going here, right? You understand what I said? My hot chocolate is going here. And it's, what this is for is basically to whip it. So, hurry up, put that in my mouth because I don't want to waste it. And you just kind of hold it. That's going to go up. Lower it because it's starting to boil and you don't want it to go overflow. And you just kind of, and this is a traditional Mexican kind of like whipping, and it's just beautiful. I just love it. It's got the rings in it, so the higher it goes, the more you can just kind of stir it. Very delicious and very fun to use. Alrighty, that's about done. And then you just get your cup. Let me grab this cup here. And you get like a little ladle. Just ladle it in. And it's hot, so be careful. And then you just kind of, you can smell the cinnamon, the vanilla, all the nice flavors in there. Oh gosh, it's different kind of chocolate. I love it. You might want to add some more chocolate to it. I use it as a base, and sometimes I'll sneak in some more cinnamon and put a little bit of more, some nutmeg, and I'll add a little bit of just plain cocoa in there just to spruce it up a little. But this and some pan dulce in the morning of your Christmas is nice with your tamales that you're going to have. So, I don't know, but it's really good. So, I'm going to put my milk up, okay? And then we're going to get started on making put this over here. And we're going to get started making some new sweet tamales. So what I have here, I found some organic, well, let me wash my hands first. I always wash my hands before and in between when you're cooking and eating. And just take the time and wash your hands. So I have my hojas, your corn husks, which are being soaked. And you can get, there's different kinds of hojas you can get. You can get the hojas that have the little strings in them. Don't be afraid of the strings. It's just going to take a lot more work to pull them out. And then you soak them, and then you thoroughly rinse them out. You can rinse them out very, very thoroughly, and then just use that, and you'll be fine. And then just drain them in a, see, I have them in a strainer here, because you don't want them wet when you're using them. I think I've said that in my other video clip where I'm making tamales. So I have about 2 pounds of masa harina. And I found some organic masa harina. And I was happy to find that. And then you're going to use a lot of the apple sauce. And if you have some pineapple, crushed pineapples, you could use that. Use the juice and everything. A can about this size. I made this. It's a preserve. It's apple and pineapple mixture. And here's some more applesauce. And then I have some backup applesauce because that, the butter, and a little bit of coconut water, if you'd like to use that, is going to be basically the liquids that you're going to use to mix in the masa harina. And of course, I have to get the baking powder and the baking soda. So I would say, of course, I like the aluminum free. About a couple teaspoons, or maybe a nice big teaspoon for 2 pounds. You don't need very much of the baking powder, non-aluminum baking powder, and then you're going to use a couple, also a good teaspoon of the baking soda. And that's going to help it poof it up a little bit. It's kind of nice. And then I'm going to put in about, I'd say about, since I have 2 pounds, that's a good cup of white sugar. And then I have some brown sugar. And that's about another, if it's packed down, it would be about a cup. So I hope you can see me. There. See what I'm doing. Not me, but what I'm doing. Anyways, and then you got to make sure that all the little, that it's not clumped up. You just want to stick that in there as well. Okay. And then I have some spices. You see, I'm putting all my spices in. This is about a good couple teaspoons. It's according to your palate. I want to put some cinnamon in my masa. And another way to make it cinnamon is to put cinnamon tea. If you have the little, I have like little cinnamon sticks, and you can make your own cinnamon tea, and that's even a better way to do it. Get some cinnamon tea. See, you just get the sticks, put in a pot of water, and then you could use that as well. And you would have to adjust the liquids as well. But since I have the coconut water, I'm going to use the coconut water today. And then I have a little bit of cloves, just like about a nice pinch. I don't want to put too much of the cloves in it because I don't want the cloves to overtake. And then some nutmeg, nice pinch of nutmeg. And then I'm going to start mixing that up. Here in my little mixer. Let that mix up. And I have about a cup of pecans and a cup of raisins. And I have a little bit of, about a good teaspoon of the vanilla. I want to put some vanilla in there. But mostly, the way I make it, I like having a lot of cinnamon in it. And sometimes you can put coconut in it if you'd like. You can put pieces of chunks of pineapple. I would saute it first. And then you can put chunks of mango if you'd like, coconut flakes. I mean, it's basically, the main thing is to get the masa the way you want to do it, the way you want the masa to be nice and pliable. I'm trying to look for a pan here. Okay, here you go. Got lost in my own kitchen. It's been a while since I did a video. So, this would be nice. You guys can make it. You can make this for your family. They'll love it. So this is about a whole pound of butter because I have like 2 pounds, and the reason why I'm going to use, I'll probably use 3/4 of a pound. But I might need some more, so it all depends. I just bought this kind of masa, and I'm really excited because it's organic, and I am excited about the fact that it is organic. And I had been searching and searching and searching for some organic masa, and I found it. So I already know that's going to start clumping up. And I don't want it to clump up. So I'm going to get this going here. Alrighty. Come on, melt, melt. Because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be using that as a moisture. My butter. And you can use lard if you like. I don't want to use lard, so I'm not going to use lard. So this is about a good, I'd say this is a cup of regular applesauce that I'm putting in there. So I'm kind of winging it as I'm talking to you. And this is, what is that, mason jar, the pint. So I'm going to put that in there. These are going to be so delicious. And then the butter, yeah, the butter is good. And like I said, you don't have to use butter. You could use cooking oil, coconut oil if you prefer. I like the butter because it just kind of gives it that nice, beautiful, buttery flavor. So that's starting to, I don't want it to be too hot, but I want that to be nice and melted, all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them on. And then I'm going to start pouring in my butter. And then put a little bit of coconut water in there. Just a little bit. I'd say that's about 17 and a half ounces, half of that. So half of 17 and a half ounces. Yeah, I'd probably use about that. And that's about 3/4 of the butter. And that's going to be a nice, pliable consistency. So I don't think I'm going to need this extra butter because I have all this butter in here still to put in there. And then, yeah, oh yay. I'm going to go and I'm going to peek. I want to try the masa because I want to make sure all the flavors are in there. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Then I'm going to scrape. You can even put chocolate chips if you want. Put whatever you want in there. Oh yeah, yum. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of the vanilla. That's about a good teaspoon. Oh my God, that's so good. It's got to be the butter. Oh. Can't get away from that good flavor butter, right? And then this is a cup of pecans that I put in there. Oops, sorry. And it's a cup of raisins. I like the dry ones. I like to use the dry ones. Golden raisins, there's a mixture of raisins you can use. You can use some dry cherries. Whatever you want in your sweet tamales. Put those in there. Come on, baby. We'll put a little bit more of that coconut. I'll probably use about 3/4 of the can. I'll probably drink the rest. So I don't have to keep it in the can. Or you can transfer it in a different container because you don't want to keep it in the can. Wow, that's delicious. It's going to be a nice... I might use the whole thing. I'd say I think I use about 12 ounces. I gave it a nice little flavor. You want just enough. And how easy is that? Look how easy that is. I mean, it didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. If you want it sweeter, you can add some agave nectar in there. You can add the brown sugar. The reason why I put the brown sugar in is because I want that little bit of that molasses flavor. And that pineapple in there kind of gives it that little bit of acidity in it. These are going to be good. And let me see. Take this. I want to make sure I have enough fat in there. The butter, meaning the fat coming from the butter. And the way I could tell when I make my tamales is that butter is... The way I can tell is when I put on my glasses. The way I can tell is by how shiny it is and how the spatula, it doesn't stick to the spatula. So that's it. I have a nice... Well, that'll make a nice couple dozen tamales in there. Okay. Now, wipe this off. Get my hojas, husks. Okay, if you can see that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use not the rough side, but I'm going to use the smooth side. There's two sides to a husk, and that's a nice little size right here. And there's a couple ways that I could do that. I could do the regular folding where I fold it and I bring the, but this way, I want to show you how I do that. You just get, try to find a husk, like a really skinny one, and then you just kind of want to rip the strands out like this. Okay, and then you just kind of want to tie it. Put a little love knot in there. And that way you can tell, you can tell the difference between your tamales. Which ones are sweet and which ones are savory. And isn't that cute? So you have your little tamalito. And we've been making these for so many years. It's fun, it's easy, and like I said, I enjoy it. And I'm going to be making these tamales. And then I'll come back and then we'll make some other kind of tamales that I want to share with you. Okay? I'll see you in a little bit. Alrighty.